Is control helping you heal or holding you back? In case we haven't met yet, I'm Jess X Goh, and I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. I'm going to share with you how control is disguised as safety in order to protect your identity, which is preventing you from living your best life. We have learnt about control as a coping mechanism at a very young age to defend ourselves from danger, from fear, and all sorts of emotions that we're not able to process because it's just far too intense. So by controlling our thoughts, our feelings, ourselves, gives us this false sense of safety, this comfort blanket, keeping us stuck in this cocoon where we're feeling this false sense of calmness. And through that, we constantly then make choices to control ourselves, to find ways to stabilize our emotions, to avoid situations that can be quite triggering, and to find ourselves to fit into the matrix in order to be accepted, to control the way we present ourselves in family dynamics, personal relationships, the workplace, society, and so forth. So we are not seen as a threat and no one else is seen as a threat. By making choices from a place of control, controlling ourselves, because we're feeling so self-conscious in how we show up in the world, it's creating so much contraction. And through that contraction, by constantly controlling who we are contracting our life force energy. That life force through God, through Source. We're also contracting life. And this is why so many of us feel so lost, stuck, and blocked in our vision, our purpose, and what lights us up to move forward in life, including our relationships and all areas of our life. What if you can stop being a control freak and truly trust that life has your back no matter what? It's easy said than done. Listen, I know what it's like to be in your shoes. And I know what it's like to operate from a life that is full of control, that has kept me so entrapped and enslaved in my own suffering by not being authentic and in alignment with God, with Source. And how much of a trauma loop cycle it has kept me in, so shelled in this false sense of safety. And I know what it's like to be living my life from a place of trust and surrender, where I am not making a life that everyone else or so many are following. I am taking a lot of risk to live the life that God, Source, is calling me to live. Not everyone has the capacity and the internal resilience to live in such volatility, such as living a nomadic lifestyle, constantly traveling, constantly being in different environments and homes, not knowing where they're going to live next. That's just an example right there. And when we let go of control, this is where we can fully surrender to what is possible for you and I. without knowing the details and the how. That's not the point, actually. That's what the ego, the mind, is looking for in order for it to feel safe, because we're wired for stability and certainty. And when we fully choose trust, not control, as the frequency of our life force energy, this is where transformation occurs for people on the healing journey. This is where miracles show up when you least expect it. This is where God, Source, has a way better plan than you do by fully surrendering to what you're feeling as your intuition or guidance or instinct, whatever you want to call that. And it leads you to places and spaces that you never ever thought you would ever imagine. So when we are placing our life in trust, we are saying yes to ourselves. We are saying yes to God, to Source, because we are in service to our soul, to our spirit, not our ego. And through the frequency of trust, this is where you can expand. This is where you can grow and evolve to the next level in all areas of your life. I have personally witnessed this myself. This is why I'm the woman that I am now. This is why I am where that I am now, that I would never ever thought in a gazillion years would I be living my life as a nomad, that I would be in a sacred, conscious, spiritual, and fulfilling long distance relationship with my beloved. I never thought in a gazillion years that I would be able to rebuild my relationship with my family members and to keep things respectful, kind, and functional. So many things that I never ever thought would be possible, and that is through by choosing trust. To trust God, to trust Source, to trust myself, knowing that I am supported in this. And I invite you to do the same. And I get it. It can be extremely hard to make that choice because it requires you to let go of your identity, your ego, your attachments to stability and certainty that we've been wired and conditioned to. And this is where the magic begins, is to follow your heart, to pursue the adventure of your spirit and where it's supposed to take you. Because this is part of your divine plan, your destiny, in how to discover who you really are in order to embody your soul's essence by choosing trust. And I can share with you that by choosing trust, it has transformed who I am inside out and my personal relationships. To be more specific, my relationship with my beloved. In the past, I used to be so controlling of him. I would nitpick and find little things that I didn't feel comfortable with because I didn't feel safe. Such as him not being able to pick up the attention of detail that I'm able to. And it created a lot of emotional volatility for me. So I had this urge to tell him what to do, to control him, to force him to think my way and to do things my way. And I would dishonor his feelings and his feedback and his reactivity And as time goes on, over and over again, the same thing happens over and over again. Until I was able to finally trust who he is, for him to trust the choices that he makes, his way of being. And for me to finally see, well, hold on, Jess. This is your beloved here. You're not his mother. And he is a grown man. He has enough emotional maturity and responsibility to make the best choices for him and to do what's right for him. And I am welcome to give him feedback, but I don't constantly need to hound him on it, to force him and to control him to be a certain way to fit with my paradigm, because little Jess doesn't feel safe with that. And so once I'm able to choose trust by taking full personal responsibility for my emotions, for my volatility in his behavior, it has helped me to fully trust myself again, in order for me to then trust him, because he too has life force energy. He too is connected with God, with spirit, with source. And so who am I to control that? And so as soon as I keep trusting who he is, I'm able to let go more and more of my identity, my attachment to my ego. And I'm able to create this space for him to be himself and for him to fully feel safe in his authenticity with me. And I've realized I don't really need to nitpick on this small thing about him anymore. It doesn't really matter, because I'm no longer protecting my ego. I'm no longer looking for this false sense of safety through control, because I was able to reclaim myself through trust as my personal responsibility to manage myself, trusting that it is safe to be with my beloved, to be with a new love, to be with his identity, to be with his personality, to be with his spirit. And through surrendering into this divine process of trust, that's when things shift and change. And not because he has changed, it's because I have changed, and I'm able to see him differently, to experience him differently. And that is without triggers or attachment around this petty little thing that I was nitpicking on. And so what if you could constantly choose trust, to choose God, your life force energy, your intuition, your instinct, source, just fully surrendering to that and let that to help you live your best life without getting into the details or figuring it out, because it will be revealed in front of you in divine timing, the way God, source, has planned it. This is why there's no reason to constantly be in control all the time, because God, source, has a better plan than we do. So my love, I hope you got a lot out of this video, and if you do, I would love for you to share what you got out of it in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so and give this video a like, share it with your loved ones, so many more people can receive this transmission. And if you are ready to dive deeper with me, to let go of this false sense of safety that is contracting your life force energy, that is blocking you from moving forward and living your best life, then you might be interested in working with me, whether it's attending my Transforming Trauma or Conscious Relationship workshop and retreats that I have in different parts of the world, whether it's attending my Autumn Equinox Women's Healing Circle just for women, or to enroll into my Inner Child Healing course as a stepping stone to really unravel these conditioned versions of you that isn't serving you on your life path anymore, and integrating love as your truth. Or if it's to work with me privately through a one-day retreat in person, or in a 3-month container, just you and me, for you to be a completely different person that you would have never recognized. When we disarm layers and layers of trauma, so you can finally be at peace with everyone and everything in your life. If you like to learn more, you can click on the links below in the video description, and you can take your journey further from there. So, my love, what are you waiting for? Are you choosing to go on the journey with control and live the life that you're living right now? To stay stuck and blocked and trapped into slavery of your own suffering? Or do you choose trust to finally move mountains and find yourself again?